Welcome to STARS Launch Pod, where we chat with innovators who are overcoming challenges, pushing boundaries, and collaborating to make space more accessible and sustainable for humanity, one launch at a time.
It's one small step for man.
Here's your host, Susan Wise.
Hi, and welcome to STARS Launch Pod, Space, Technology, and Research Sciences, brought to you by starsciences.org, where we connect, collaborate, and accelerate. I'm your host, Susan Wise. And joining us this time is Bill West. Bill is Executive Director at Space Workforce Institute. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Susan, it's an honor to be here, be on your show and share whatever I can for the benefit of the space industry.
Awesome. Yes, we like to talk about that. I'd like to know a little bit more about you, if you can share that, and also what you're currently working on to further the space industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am relatively new to the space industry as of about a year ago. I've spent my career in professional credentialing, creating workforce standards, professional credentials, licenses for most any profession you could think of, whether board certified doctors to funeral directors to cybersecurity professionals. And the reason I came on board to help lead the Space Workforce Institute was to bring that to the space industry, new workforce standards and credentials. And so been in the credentialing field for over 30 years or so. And it's been very exciting to learn this new world and to hopefully make an impact. And as far as what I'm currently working on as part of the Space Workforce Institute, I'm really helping to help the space industry build a resilient workforce. And by resilient, I really mean a workforce that can support the needs of the rapidly growing, rapidly expanding space economy, as well as implement the programs that are needed to continue to upskill, reskill the professionals that are really driving it. Because there's something between 10,000 and 20,000 open jobs in the space economy. And we need to add another 250,000 or so in coming years if we're really going to achieve the $2 to $4 trillion market size that's forecast. So as you know, all but a handful of those 250,000 people are not astronauts, right? It's people with every kind of skill set, trade, experience you can think of. So as I mentioned, I am the leadership at Space Workforce Institute, done this for many professions, the workforce standards, the credentialing programs to really help build the people. So we're bringing that to the space economy, becoming the vendor neutral standards body that brings the industry together, commercial, government, academia, associations, workforce boards, really to identify and set job role standards along with the associated professional credentialing program. So it's critical for credentials.
What types of credentials are we looking at?
Yeah, great question, Susan. So these are things like certificate programs, certification programs that help identify, maybe you're a professional project manager, but you can earn a certificate to become a specialty for space or earn a certificate for foundational knowledge in rocket launch technology, things like that. Programs really to help the standards and certifications that help academic programs align to industry standards and help employers set HR strategy for hiring for advancement according to people's qualifications.
Well, the space industry is only going to grow and getting bigger. And especially since we have our eyes on the moon, we have our eyes on Mars, there's going to be a lot of new jobs to fill, I'm sure. Looking back, what has been your biggest aha moment?
So the aha for me really was the realization about all the gap training going on that employers are really implementing, custom training to help bring space context to professionals or people coming out of school to enter the space industry or for career advance. So as is the case with so many sectors that are rapidly advancing like the space industry, traditional educational pathways just aren't really keeping up with 21st century workforce skills, or they lack clear bridging programs to take from other sectors. So grabbing talent from adjacent workforces, sectors, roles that might have overlapping competencies, but really lack the space context. Because the space industry is actually a combination of most any industry you can think of, right? Engineering,
True.
cybersecurity, non-destructive testing, welding, et cetera. And each of those verticals have professional programs with credentials, but very few have specialties for space, kind of resulting in a gap. Like one of our advisory board members, who is well known in the industry, Doug Lavero, said a really significant problem for the space industry is that aerospace programs lack the space part of that. So many employer groups I've met, from larger commercial suppliers to agencies to startups, they have indicated one of their biggest problems is they have to do this training. You might be an engineer, you might be a cybersecurity professional, but you don't really understand what that means in the space context. So they're creating all these gap training programs. And so that was kind of a big ha-ha that I didn't really realize. But the exciting part is we can address it.
I'm sure you've had challenges. What's maybe one of your biggest challenges, and how did you overcome that?
So my biggest challenge is one that I haven't quite overcome yet, but we're making progress.
Okay.
It's really around awareness and involvement. So awareness just in general, that there are foundational programs. We have foundational programs, and getting more people engaged in creating the needed credentials. So our mission, right, for building the workforce, resilient workforce, really has been validated over and over and over again. The needs really recognized, but then kind of life goes on and people aren't focused. It's a busy industry, right? The tyranny of the urgent with so many exciting opportunities. It's really hard to get attention to pause and build and access workforce development tools that will make the workforce more efficient, better retain and grow talent, and enable the industry overall to build out the potential. So, but we're overcoming little by little. We have an outstanding advisory board made up of top experts from space, credentialing, and learning. We're becoming embedded in K-12 and higher education, and
I was
we
going to
stand
ask,
ready to build.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you find your talent? Do you seek out talent as far as like going to colleges or universities?
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to help universities embed professional credentials or align their training with what the industry has said. These are the standards we need. These are the professionals we need. And that's a perfect role for professional credentials. We're working with employers to say, where are the gaps, right? Because if we're going to solve this problem, the workforce skills shortage, we need everybody involved. And we need to not only create pathways early on from K-12, but also access people from other industries. People who had no idea they could get into the
Right.
space.
They're like, well, I've studied this and I've done this for this many years, but I had no idea that it would cross over and it would take just a little bit more training and focus in this area to be able to utilize my skills. And that's fascinating. I think that's exciting. Do you have a piece of advice that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, so it would be, I'm going to steal from one of my advisory board members and say, the advice is don't forget the people. As is too often the case, all the attention, especially in the space industry, all the attention and investment really goes into technology and infrastructure and research. But if you don't invest in the people from early on, right, from creating the pathways into the industry, it's really all for naught. It's arguably the biggest risk to the space industry right now is, are we developing enough professionals to enable all the good things that we know we can happen? The industry talks about sustainability, reusability. That's a hot topic right now, as it should be. But part of that needs to be the people, sustainability of getting in and keeping the right workforce to advance the industry.
Right. As far as a passion project, either past or present, something you'd like to share with our listeners?
So on a personal level, it's also about investing in people, in particular, helping men be better husbands, fathers, leaders, colleagues that they want to be. So that's kind of a personal thing. But on the professional level, it's kind of akin to that. It's really helping advance lives and careers through creating professional pathways. So, because what we do with credentials really does create opportunities to get more people engaged from all socioeconomic backgrounds, right? The equity gaps still really persist in who's attaining 4-year degrees, but there are other pathways into the space industry that people just would never imagine, right? I've talked to welders, non-destructive testing people that had no idea there's a pathway into space that we can use their competencies, round out with a space context, and get in and start a whole nother career in a really exciting industry.
Is this done online or in person at a specific location?
Yeah, another great question. So it's all of the above. Our credentials really, if you take the exams to get credentialed,
Hmm.
that's online. You can do
Okay.
that online securely, remotely. But we have authorized partners like Nova Space or University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, et cetera,
Hmm.
that are the training programs that lead up to these credentials. So there's a lot of ways to get the training that you need.
This is exciting. There are jobs to be filled. Sign me
Yes,
up.
absolutely.
This is really cool.
Well,
I
you're on
really
record. I'll get you some information.
okay. And come on, tell us how they can reach out to you. I want to hear it from your mouth.
Oh, absolutely. So the easiest way, so our website, spaceworkforceinstitute.org. It's long, but it's self-explanatory. And there you can see the variety of credentials that we have, our authorized learning partners, how you can get involved, because how we build these is subject matter experts from all across the industry. We purposely need people from commercial enterprises and government, et cetera, to build what these standards are. So it's a great one-source shop. Or reach out to me, Bill,
All
at
right.
spaceworkforceinstitute.org. Happy
You
to
need a
talk to anybody.
podcast host?
Absolutely. I think I found one I would highly recommend.
I'm teasing. No, I love your story and I love what this is about. This is exciting for a lot of people. I will absolutely pass this along and make sure everybody will put your website up here so that they can make sure and get that. Bill, thank you so much for sharing your story and all of this with us. It's very exciting. And I'm excited about the future in space and what we're going to be seeing and doing next.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susan. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate your great work and the opportunity to talk with your audience.
All right. Bill West, Executive Director at Space Workforce Institute. Be sure and join us where we connect, collaborate, and accelerate. And we'd like you to join our starsciences.org and receive a free 1-year membership. Just put in the promo code FRIENDS321. That's FRIENDS321. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe. And then until next time, keep looking up.
Don't miss an episode. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platform. Watch us on YouTube and follow us on social media. Stars Launch Pod, propelling us forward, one launch at a time.